All right, everyone. We have our guest, Favian Loyola, is here, loud and proud, Orlando. How you doing, Fabian? Welcome.
Good,
How's
Luis. How are
everything?
you? Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, good to have you. You know, you've definitely that game against Miami with that play was pretty magical, I would say. And
Yeah,
that definitely the way OCB right now and the form they're doing is it's phenomenal. And
yeah.
but what is a typical day in the life of Fabian Loyola?
Typical day, man. I mean, same
I know there's a
as
lot of training, probably, right?
loads of training. I mean, the process for me right now, there's honestly going to be loads of training since I'm the rookie of the team, and since I'm only 17 years old, I feel like for me, my goal right now is to work on everything as soon as possible, so I could get ahead of some of the guys are at this age in the league that are already 20 in their 20s, and I'm only 17. And so right now, the day of Fabian is waking up around like 6:30 in the morning, headed to training, get breakfast. Breakfast there is amazing, and then usually have meetings couple days of the week. Train at 9:30, around 10. After training, some extra work in the field maybe here and there. Um, Recovery, then lift every day. Every day I have my trainer Sergio and the whole staff, Matt. I can name go on Mitch, Tyler. They're do an amazing job. So I have lift after, mostly with Sergio and Matt, and then after that we have our own private chef
Oh
now,
man,
and so
fancy.
things are amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's Keaton, amazing cook. After that, just go home, relax.
Your goal is essentially putting yourself and make so much noise to definitely get into the first team.
Yeah, of course.
Playing the MLS. And then
Yeah.
I know that, and I've read in other interviews, your ambition is to play in the Premier League, and to have
Yeah.
that consistency, it's very important, right?
Oh yeah, I mean consistency is everything, man. I mean, especially in a career as a professional soccer player, you have to be consistent in everything you do. I mean, on and off the field. So it's just it's just being a professional athlete at the end of the day, knowing what's good on and off the field. So yeah,
How important have your parents been in your development as a soccer player? I mean, I know that coming
great
from
question.
an immigrant
Yes.
family, it's
Yeah,
definitely a lot of sacrifice. So, how's that been for
yeah.
you growing up with that?
I mean, my parents have sacrificed everything for me, and especially for my development. We've gone across the world to state to state. So I mean, honestly, they've they've been amazing, both mom and dad. My mom played that role where she didn't know that much of soccer, but she would help me with anything. She would be there for me on bad, good days. She would want me. She would keep me at a high standard always. And same with my dad. Parents will always let me do my job. Will never put that pressure on me of oh, like if you got to do this. No, they'll be like, you know what, like they'll give their opinion first. But my dad
Yeah.
was mostly the one that would train me in the mornings, twice a day, every day, since I was young. Um, but yeah, I mean, they've been great.
So,
I don't know if you're familiar, but we've moved to Chile. We've
yeah,
moved.
I know.
Yeah,
Weston, right? South
we started
Florida.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
started at Weston. Um, Went to Chile, Santiago, Chile, and I played for Católica for a couple, maybe like a year.
Is that your team you support over there in Chile, La Católica?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Man,
sure,
okay.
yeah.
And I know your brother is in La Católica, right?
Yeah, well, he's now playing in Magallanes, so he's over there.
Oh, he's playing Magallanes, playing Copa Libertadores, right?
That's crazy.
Against,
I don't.
right?
Great opportunity for him, so that's good for him, man.
Yeah. And now, would you be tempted if Chile knocks on your door? I know that you've done the under
Yeah,
17s. It was kind of like like
yeah,
a thorn on your side, you would say. Then they call you for the U19s, and you excelled on that. You were with Granados, your partner in crime, right?
Yeah,
What if Chile comes knocking on your door? Will you answer?
I mean, I want to see a reason not to answer Chile. I think Chile is obviously my dad's from Chile, so I wouldn't mind answering the doors and wanting to talk to Chile, but they really haven't knocked my doors in a long time, and so honestly, I don't know from this standpoint. I mean, I've had a lot of accomplishments. I mean, I've been with the U19s, um, MVP, All Star,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
still haven't knocked on my door. So I mean,
yeah.
at the end of the day, I want to do what's best for me, and if they're not gonna knock on my door anytime soon,
Right.
we'll see. I mean, hopefully they do. I don't know, but
Definitely.
they,
How was that experience? Talking about the MLS All Star game, how was that experience playing the All Star game, especially with Alejandro? Right, both of you
yeah, they
actually
had
went.
it yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that experience was amazing, man. From the start, it was just a great experience. I mean, we flew out together with Coach Javi, and Ale, and they had like a nice little like Audi was saying All Star for us, like going
Oh
to
wow.
and the experience and the experience around it was just amazing. The people there, just getting to see my teammates that not my teammates, but guys that were in other teams I'm friends with. So it was just a great experience, and you know, at the end of the day, I made the best out of it. So it was good.
That's great. Now, obviously, and this is something we've noticed here. It's fun to watch OCB play, and
Hmm.
I started watching, and I've been watching the games, and you
Yeah,
see a lot of kind of like a South American like way of play style, like
yeah,
the good a lot of players with good technique, but that has
hmm
to start from somewhere, right?
yeah,
So, obviously you have Juninho now in
yeah.
the team. How's that been that cohesiveness of the team and this great momentum you guys are having recently?
Honestly, we have such great individuals in the team. Um, a lot of new players, and Coach Martin, Coach Manu, they said last year that they're gonna build a team next year that's gonna be powerful, man. And he stuck by his word. And this team right now is amazing. And I mean, like you said, they brought Juninho, they brought a lot of players like Medina, they brought Emmanuel, they brought a couple new players
Yeah.
that really helped the team, man. And like you said, the South American, I wouldn't say South American style play, but we do have a lot of South American players for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do really want the ball. I mean, we're players that really want the ball and are not afraid to have the ball. So I feel like that helps a lot, especially to build that connection on the field. And I mean, we're doing amazing so far. This team is definitely going to be a team that's different, man, for sure.
No, definitely. I mean, you guys, that game against Miami was, I think, one of
Yeah.
the silkiest goals I've seen someone scored in a long time. So I do want to say now, how does Coach Javier Carrillo mean to you
Hmm.
for your career development, and how important has his impact been to this current squad? Also,
I mean, Carrillo, that guy. Javi's a amazing guy, man. On and off the field, he could develop you mentally off the field, and on the field he could just help you out even more. So I mean, he's in the academy. He was a great development guy for me, especially coach. He was an amazing coach. Always pushed me. He's like I said many times that he's always held me accountable, and I really needed that, especially growing up and then maturing as a player. And so he's always held me as like a high standard, and he's always been like, you have all this talent in the world that you can't waste. So I mean, he's been amazing, man, and he's definitely helped. I mean, we have Ale in the team too. We have Tair. So he's brought a lot of guys up to OCB, especially. I mean, he definitely is some part of it. He brings that mindset and builds up for OCB and first team. He builds that mindset where you're like, This you can't hold yourself to a low standard. You always have to want more in the field, especially.
Yeah, and it seems that there's the same like culture, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
see it in the academies, you see it OCB, and now you see
yeah.
it in the first
I mean,
team.
yeah, exactly. It all builds up, so that's why I feel like they they prepare every kid, especially in the academy, and and especially training right next to each other. It helps a lot because you know what to expect, and those players that are not going to be surprised, like, oh shoot, like this. I never like, oh shoot, like, no, you can't. You gotta always like expect, like, yeah, this is real. I mean, I'm 10 feet away from the first team. I mean, I could be there one day, and that's what I always thought in my mind growing up.
Now, how do you know you were going to sign a professional contract with Orlando City? How did that came about?
I didn't even know. My mom knew first. Um, yeah, I mean, I just kind of, I never really, that was always my plan A, man. That was always my plan A. Everyone always told me, "Oh, how about college?" Yeah, I mean, college was obviously, it was a great option. I mean, I could have gone to a lot of great colleges for sure. But I knew in my mind that once I put something in my mind, I'm like, you know what, that's the goal I want to achieve, and I gotta achieve it, man. And so I always put that to my mind, and I just worked hard every day, and I did had a great season with half of the season of OCB, and then during break, I think it was that they realized that, oh, shoot, this kid really made an impact, and he did his job as, especially as a 17-year-old, 16-year-old playing in OCB, and coming in and making an impact. So I feel like I made that impact, and I left my mark there, and that was just the beginning of me being like, oh shoot, I'm signing, but now I gotta work even harder, man.
No, it's like it's always something to aspire than to be
Yeah.
better than yourself.
Uh huh.
You first want to not be a sub, then you want to be in the first
Hmm.
team of your current squad, then you want to get to OCB, and then you want to
Yeah.
get to the first team. I mean, I think it's a step in a
Yeah.
ladder, moving up.
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
you've been training with the first team for over a season.
Oh yeah.
Now there's been times you've trained with the first team, like how is that intensity of the first team, like especially in training, because I've
Huh?
been to some myself as
Yeah.
press, and you could see those guys go all out. So if you balance it with an OCB training, where is it, what are the differences that you would take?
I mean, right now, obviously the sometimes, I mean, a lot of times the first team guys are just, they know what they're gonna do before they get the ball. They're sometimes a lot faster, especially. I mean, that's what they get paid for. That's what they get paid millions. Some of the guys, that's what they make more money than some of the OCB guys. But intensity wise, man, competitively, I feel like both groups both have that mindset where everyone's just so competitive, man. So that's what's great about the culture over there in Orlando City. That over here, it's just everyone has that mindset of being so competitive, both first team and second team. First team, you have of course a lot of guys that are exceed that level where they're like, yeah, let's shoot this guy. It's good, man. Like you, like Fagu, like those type of guys that are top notch. You know what I mean? So I mean, obviously, there's those type of players who are like, yeah. I mean,
Did you have to nutmeg one of them at some point, huh?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, what's going on?"
No, yeah, some of the guys take it personal. Some of the guys don't want
Right?
to. Like a younger guy megging me. Yeah, it's
Who
good,
who
man.
would you say is the toughest, like out of the current Orlando City backline, like the toughest like defender going, like that you had to face in training?
I mean, they're all tough. I mean, I don't know, man.
You would name one. It's okay.
That back line is scary, man. Especially in training.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
so I mean, Jansen, Antonio Carlos, those guys,
yeah.
center backs, those center backs are harsh. They're harsh.
Now, what has been so far the most difficult part of your journey of becoming a professional soccer player?
Being consistent, man. I mean, like you said, it's it's so easy to say it. Oh, be consistent, but it's so hard to do it. You know, at the end of the day, it's like the first time I was there preseason, in season right now. You really have to build that mindset of switching on and being a professional. You know, it's a different it's a different culture, man, and you just have to know what you're doing 24/7, know how to treat your body, know what your body, how much your load is, um, just a bunch of stuff. So it's just adapting to that professional athlete mindset, man. And it was really it was not too hard, but it was kind of a hard switch to be like, you know what, I'm here. I can't think about it too much to a point where like, oh shoot, yeah, I got here. No, like I'm here now. It's like I gotta work. You know, that switch was kind of hard.
Now, when it comes to the best advice, anyone, it could have been Javier, it could have been anyone in your life, your parents. What's the best advice they've given you about playing the sport?
Oh, that's a great question. So any coach, uh, a lot of coaches have said a lot of things to me, man. Like Coach Javi always,
Like something that got stuck into you, you know what I mean? Oh, like you still remember it, like now.
it's just a lot of knowledge, man. A lot of like knowing yourself, knowing your potential. I mean, the Coach Javi and Coach Martin really helped me in that knowledge wise. Coach Javi always be like helping me. I mean, I could probably think of something in the top of my head, but it's just so hard because there's so many things that they said to me, man, that it's so
Yeah,
hard to.
totally. No, I understand. Now, who's your inspiration as a player? Like in your position right now, like currently, like a player that you'll see and you're like, okay, this is what I want to be, like right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said my inspiration was like Neymar. I mean, the style of play and that guy. But people always be like, "Oh, Neymar, like he's such a bad guy." Like, but he's. I just think that guy, man.
Neymar. No, he's
Yeah,
a phenomenal player. You know, he's I think he's a showman, right? I mean, I think a lot of the good Brazilian mids have been very like
yeah,
good,
uh,
just giving a gift from God, and
yeah. I
just
know exactly.
playing their game and dancing and all that stuff. It's just part of the way they play, because a
Yeah,
lot of
exactly.
in
I
Brazil you
just
play
feel
it
like
on the streets. It's like,
that being happy, the way they look playing, man. It's
yeah,
just I don't know.
they
I just
enjoy the sport, right? You could tell.
yeah. So that's what I love most. But I mean, one of the guys I really like is Leo from AC Milan.
Oh, Rafael Leao, yeah, man,
He's like another. He's a young talent, man. He's a guy that is. He's not afraid. He kind of has that mindset where he gets the ball and he knows what he's doing. He's going forward. He's the first thing he's doing is I'm going at the defender.
so
So
you're going for Milan for this year's Champions League.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love.
I would love that to happen, though. I'll be honest with you.
Hey,
Yeah.
love it, man. I love Milan is a good team, man. Really good team.
Now, I know that your brother is doing fantastic in Chile, right? Has
Yeah,
that inspire you also? Like, because he had to literally, you guys. I don't know if you guys speak like fluent Spanish. I'm sure by now we
yeah,
probably, get him,
yeah.
probably him better than
You
anyone
know,
else.
him much better.
Right,
Like he got the
right.
accent and everything. He's
So how's that been seeing him thrive there?
it's it's amazing, man. Like at the end of the day, like those are the sacrifices that you're like
Yeah.
that he has to make, and like I'm as a younger brother, man. It's just amazing, man. Because at the end of the day, that's my dream to succeed, to see my family succeed, man. So I'm he's my number one fan. I'm his number one fan. That's how it's always been. You know, support. That's my best friend. So it's amazing. He's doing amazing things. That kid, his mindset is amazing. So he tore his ACL like what 9 months ago last year, and that kid is still thriving. He's back better than ever, and he just it just makes me happy, man. So it's great. It's great. Definitely pushes me.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, one thing I noticed with you, and I know I don't know you, but one thing
Yeah,
I did notice just watching you play is that, you always want more. Like it's
yeah,
like like you're not just content of going down
yeah,
to attack. You are
yeah,
willing to retreat and try to get the ball back. Like,
yeah,
if there's a miss, you try to amend your mistake. Is
yeah.
that truly like your motto? Like you're trying to like always push
I
for
mean,
more?
yeah. At the end of the day, man, I never try to set a limit to myself because a lot of players really are sad. They're too. Some players are too satisfied, and I don't want to be that player where it's like, you know what, I scored a goal. I scored a goal. Like my fans are excited. No, man. If I could get another one, I could get another one, man. So at the end of the day, it's about limiting myself, and I never want to limit myself because once you limit yourself, you can't really reach what you want to reach. So I just try to hold myself to a high standard always, and that's what Coach Ivy actually said. Always hold yourself to a high standard, never limit yourself. So
Now,
yeah,
when it comes to uh, your play style, right?
Mm.
From currently from the players now, like who would you say you kind of who do you try to like? I wouldn't say emulate because I think everyone is genuine, but
Yeah, of
I
course.
said like who's your
Most similar style plays.
correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, me and Faco have similar style plays, man.
Yeah,
Like me and him, both lefties. People say, "Oh, he's a lefty. He's using
cutting
his
down
left."
the middle.
So yeah, we still go to our left. So somehow, both creative. Both have that thought of mind of always wanting to do something. So really want the
Be that
ball.
impact player, right? Be that game
Yeah,
changer, right?
exactly. So I mean, I think that's what he always has in his mind is to always change the game, and that's what players like us, that's what we try to do. At the end of the day, is change the game, and that's what we get paid for, you know. So
Exactly, and just kind of going into the national team,
yeah,
the U19s. How was that experience with the U19s? You had to travel with Alex Freeman.
yeah.
You also got to be with Alejandro Granados, I think, as well, right? Rodrigo
Well,
Neri. No, no,
not
no.
really on it too much because he's in the youngers, but Thomas, I
Yeah,
traveled with him.
Thomas Williams. Yeah.
But it's amazing, man. I love especially traveling with teammates. That's seeing players like young players like Freeman, Thomas, um, that are like in my age group, or is amazing to be honest.
Yeah,
Because
and both of you guys, I mean, physically, you guys, I mean, have like bulked up, man. Compared to one season ago, like,
yeah, I know.
and you could see Alex too, like performing very well in OCB, and you also
Yeah,
excelling there. So
yeah,
it's just a process, right?
yeah. It's
Um,
everything's a process. Yeah.
Now, have you talked to Oscar and the guys from the first team? Like they come and talk to you here and there. Uh,
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's always they're always there for to give players like advice, and so I mean, here and there, I'll chat with them in the gym, and it's nice, man. I mean,
here,
good
here,
environment.
here we say that I think the tournaments for to mix both squads, OCB and the first team, is this U.S. Open Cup and Leagues Cup. Would you? I mean, what would it meant to you being called up to being the first team representing Orlando, like with maybe a mix up of OCB and Orlando City? How would you feel? And I know that if they give you the opportunity, like you're gonna definitely like grab the brass ring. You seem that type of guy to me.
I would that stuff that would get me so like that would push me, man. That would push
Yep.
me to a great different Favi, man. I mean, always there's I like to push myself a lot mentally, but I mean, honestly, that would be an opportunity of that I would love to have and enjoy, man. I mean, that's that would be amazing, man. I wouldn't even have words to, especially to play. I always see the fans, man. I feed off that, man. That gets me any
Yeah.
like mad to like be go out in the field and like just play, man. So I mean,
I
I
know
love
that the game against Miami, there were a lot of ILF members that went to the game. How would
yeah.
that? What did that mean to you? I mean,
It was good, man. I spotted that in the beginning, and I was like, that that brings a different player, man. Especially for a player like me, that really inside that pushes me, man. It drives me. It's like, man, like I couldn't even imagine when I one day hopefully to get my opportunities explore and to be like, you know what, there's even hundreds of people like that. I couldn't even imagine. Imagine with only like 20 guys there versus Inter Miami. I mean, that pushed me so much. Like
uh,
hearing those guys, like, hey, I couldn't even imagine how I would do with hundreds. I mean, to be honest, people always say, yeah, you're gonna be nervous, but that's something to enjoy, man, because that's everything's hard in life, but if you enjoy it while it lasts, that's something that I always put into my mind. I'll love it.
now, is it true that when people celebrate goals, like they just come about, or people actually plan to celebrate their goals a certain way? As a soccer player, I'm just saying a general question.
As a son, I didn't, for me, I usually don't plan my goals, like especially my celebrations. I used to when I was a kid, but I haven't like first celebration was kind of crap. Can I did like 6 celebrations. I was so happy. I haven't scored in like 6 months, man. I was like, because I just came back from an injury. I don't know if you knew, but I just came back from an
No.
injury. I was like excited just to get back. That joy. I was just so like, man, like I'm back, man. I love being here. Like I just love feeling the pitch, love getting that environment. And yeah, it was just. I mean, I don't really plan my celebrations. I always have one celebration. It's a knee slide with like the go like that.
Oh, that's
But
great.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I wanted to first and foremost thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being here at A Lot of
yeah,
Pride
of course, man.
Orlando. We would love to have you more again, probably, hopefully, the next episode.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah,
But again, I know that the future is definitely bright
yeah.
in purple, and I think you're a huge part of this. So
Thank you, man.
thank you so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you for having me, man. Yeah.
No, and well, vamos Orlando, right?
Sí, vamos Orlando,
Vamos
vamos.
Orlando.